Hi, this is Simon from Lot 76 Cars. Welcome to the Brooklands Summer Classic Car Gathering and Auto Jumble. Hope you enjoy some of the great cars we're about to see. And a rare sight today is this Toyota Carina 2. I bet you haven't seen one of those for a while, neither have I. Next to it, those people who like pop-up headlamps are in for a treat. It's a Volvo 480, Dutch-built Volvo, quite a daring design for Volvo, becoming relatively rare now, to be honest with you. At the other end of the scale, a Ferrari 355, what a glorious looking car. And next to that, a relatively early Porsche Cayman. That's a lovely colour, isn't it? I do like to see Golf Mark IIs, and this looks a treat, especially with those wide steel wheels. They look so much better than the alloys, in my opinion. And that's in lovely condition, isn't it? Next we've got a 1990 Mercedes 190e, which is my car, so I know a bit more about that one. And we've got a lovely, I think that's 82, 83 Mini, but in real base Mini City trim with the checked interior. A later MX-5, Fiat 500 Abarth, a Golf Mark V, and next to it, an absolutely glorious Rover P6. Isn't that car a treat? What a treat that one is. Lovely condition, even down to its aluminium number plates. A beautiful purple TVR 350C. That's stunning, that colour, isn't it? And next to it, what could be more different but a Mark 1 XR2. Absolutely beautiful condition. What's this, 87 on an E? Really stunning car, isn't it? Now I think these scimitars will certainly have their day. I think one of the last cars that Reliant produced. This is a relatively late one, I think an 89 on a G. Next to it, the MGF, the car that relaunched the MGF brand after a gap of a few years. And again, this is an early one, 95. This must be pretty much when the vehicle was launched. Next to it, the Alfa 166, which superseded the Alfa 164 and launched really as a star of one of the James Bond film is the Bmw Z3. This is a 1.9 version with a 16 valve engine used in the 318 IS. Arguably these represent absolutely stunning value for money. I mean, you can see these at under £1,000. Probably not great cars at under £1,000, but it just shows you how accessible they are. And a 4-seater convertible, this time a Bmw E30 with those lovely cross-spoke BBS alloys that appear to be so hard to get these days. Just prior to the launch or relaunch of the MG brand with the MGF, Rover did a special run of these MG V8s, loosely based or based really on the MGB Roadster. This one's an absolutely lovely one. I really like that green colour. Next to it we've got a Mercedes R107 SL, which is beautiful. Very nice looking Marcus. That's a lovely blue colour, isn't it? And a Caterham 7, obviously based on the rights. They bought the rights from Colin Chapman for the Lotus 7 and continue to this day to build the Caterham 7. On the Tipo platform is this lovely burgundy Alfa Romeo Gtv. That's a stunning colour and quite an unusual colour as well. And also very nice Jaguar XJS. And we're going to take in quite a few of these Morgans. Looking at this, there's quite a few to go here, so bear with us. If your car's here, apologies for not giving it the attention it deserves, but there's a lot of Morgans here today, aren't there? Minis, both not so old and quite young. just focusing on that lovely John Cooper Mini Cooper from when Rover relaunched the Mini. And an early, just looking at the wheels on that one, it looks to be what, an 86, 87 MR2 Mark 1. That's an absolutely glorious car, isn't it? Porsche 911 964 generation, and then originally owned by a TV rental company, somewhere down in the south, is this very unusual Fiesta van, deregistered Fiesta van. You're unlikely to see too many of those. I do like the tasteful wheel upgrade there, which looks good. Imported Mazda Unos, an MGF that appears to be for sale, and an MGTF, obviously the later car with the revised front end. To celebrate Sterling Moss's win, this is the Mille Miglia version, special edition version of the R129 SL. Walking past a few of the Porsches, and it's difficult not to stop and look at that orange one. That's glorious, isn't it? And these cars are, next cars here, the CLK particularly, absolutely cheapest chips. I mean, these cars from a period of Mercedes when perhaps corrosion had been a bit of an issue, but stunning value. And as a convertible, what's not to like about it, really? Pick the right one and you've got a really good car there. Next to it, the later aluminium bodied XJ, a lovely car this one, and also stunning good value as well. TBR Chimera, and this beautiful Norfolk Mustard Lotus Elan M100. Now this is maybe one of the later cars, I'm not sure, slightly detuned, but an absolutely stunning car. Front wheel drive, not really appreciated in the day. I have fortunately driven one of these, and the handling, certainly as I remember, was breathtaking. Another lovely TBR, and then we've got an E-Class AMG, E55 I guess. Then another car that's next to it, which is starting to become much more interesting, are these Jaguar Xk8. Now this is the supercharged one, lovely green colour, and okay, it is a 4-seater convertible allegedly. I'm not sure who'd sit in the back, but lovely car nevertheless. Now fans of Bergerac will remember this Triumph. What a beautiful car that was. And this lovely MGB. I can't remember the colour from the top of my head, but it's a lovely car. Elan Plus 2 just entering the show. That Chevy sounds good, doesn't it? Followed by an Anglia and a Morris Minor. Cars are getting here thick and fast today. A 355, a lovely TR6 going to join his friends at the TR Register. Oh, there's a few of them, there's one behind as well. Sounds good, as indeed does this AC Cobra 427 badge Cobra, a replica, who knows. Bikers here, followed by a more modern Porsche 911 and another Morgan here. And a very nice Triumph GT6. I think that might be a Morris 8. Not quite sure about that one. I'm not so good on the cars around that area. I am sure that this one is a Consul Capri and a BMW 7 Series behind. And this is a very interesting colour combination. Isn't that a pretty colour, that Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow? Very majestic cars, and the colour absolutely works on that one, doesn't it? It's a V, so what, I guess probably a 1980, I imagine. And a very nice, I think that's a PA Cresta. Oh, that's lovely, absolutely glorious, isn't it? What a colour combo. And a Ford Granada Mark 1. I've seen that car before, it's a beautiful car. Not sure what this is, but it's a pretty looking little thing, as indeed is this Corvette. Another Lagonda. Wow, what a mix of cars here today, everybody. It's fantastic, isn't it? Just coming down the hill is a lovely early 107 Mercedes. A super looking Morris Minor pickup, seldom seen again. You see the vans and the cars, but not so many of the pickups. And just a bit further on, we see a couple of MGBs, two flavours here, both the MGB GT and the Roadster. Lovely. Here's a great and lovely example of the Vauxhall Astra based on the Opel Kadett. This is the first Astra model that the UK ever received, and particularly in this green colour with this lovely oatmeal coloured interior. What a lovely car, and that slab dashboard. Beautiful, isn't it? What a lovely Morris Minor convertible. Now I know these can be seen pretty much at every show you go to, but this one is a lovely, lovely example in this old English rite. It really works well, doesn't it? And a very nice 1968 March 68 Singer Gazelle from the Arrow, so-called Arrow range. Roots Group was so good at badge engineering, weren't they? And this is one example. Show's still filling up. Quite a few pre-war cars here. I think probably Morris 8s, certainly MGs here. I don't pretend to be an expert in these, so if you know what you're talking about, feel free to drop it in the comments. Modern classics and classic cars in general are probably more my forte, but there's absolutely fantastic collection of cars here to see. How well attended this event is. Fantastic Morgan, next to it an Austin Healey Frog-Eyed Sprite. Lovely looking car. Powder blue. And we've got a Mini Moke. Now the Mini Moke's just been basically reincarnated as an electric, probably suits that vehicle quite well, but here's one of the original cars. It's an F, so what, 68. TVR Gontura. I think I've seen this car at a show recently. In fact, yeah, I'm pretty sure I have. Next to this we've got a Porsche, a 356. I guess it's a real 356, not a Chesil replica. So we've got a Michelotti designed Triumph Stag, what's 72, 73, an SS Jaguar. This was Swallow sidecars and the model was Jaguar. In actual fact, that was reversed due to certain connotations of SS after World War II, and the name was changed to Jaguar cars, so quite a long-lasting impact from that. Now those of you that are fans of the Prisoner TV series from the 60s based in Portmeirion in Wales will recognise this as a taxi for the village. Now I do like these MGTCs around the just pre-war period. Lovely sports cars, so admired by the American servicemen, some of them who took them back to the States. This yellow one in particular has caught my eye, as indeed has this MGA. Oh, this Healey's for sale. Better keep my wallet close by. I can't afford it, so I shouldn't ask the price. It's a 1960 Austin Healey 3000, and it's glorious in that liquid yellow type colour, isn't it? A 1958 H.J. Mulliner Bentley Flying Spur as a four-door, a relatively unusual car, but a beautiful looking one. 1970 Series 2 fixed head E-Type. I never tire of seeing these, although I must admit I do miss the enclosed, Perspex enclosed lights of the Series 1 cars. Now this Bonnie Beauty is a Jensen CV8, lovely registration, 7FML. That's a stunning, stunning looking car. I'm not sure you can pick it out from the video, but the condition is absolutely astounding. Lovely car, and a beautiful interior on that one as well, I can see from here. A 66 Austin Healey 3000, one of the later cars, lovely colour combination on that one as well. Built to celebrate the 50th anniversary of MG in 1975 is its MGB GT. I do like that colour combination, certainly this gold over green and the gold wheels certainly pick this car out from the rest of the crowd, don't they? Sporting Lotus colours is this Triumph Vitesse, what, 68, 69 on the G-plater? That's an interesting looking colour combination. I think that's with the 6-cylinder engine. Now, you're not going to see too many of these Datsun 1600 Fair Lady Roadsters, and I guess at the time this car was registered, probably there was only Japanese market only, or maybe US. But lovely car. I think it looks as if it dated from 68, 69. A very nice Cortina Mark II Lotus, and another one next to it. One of 16 left on the road. This Vauxhall Viva HB from 1970 on the H plate. Stunning condition. The gentleman bought it from, I think, the original owner, and I think it's had some paint work, but what a beautiful car. Great condition, and obviously, like Vauxhalls of this age, really seldom seen. It's a treat to see one. A35 van. One celebrity owner that had one of these was James Hunt, believe it or not. Next to it, a lovely, lovely Fiat 500. What a tiny little thing that is. A Mini that appears to be inviting people to draw upon it. Well, I might have a bash with that in a second. Okay, that's the best I could think of. Now, some would argue Minis are short enough already, but this one's taken things to extreme, and it's even shorter. A Series 2 XJ with a Webasto roof. I think this looks like a Morris Oxford pickup. Not sure about that. It's right-hand drive. Maybe it's not a UK car. Maybe it's an Oz car or something like that. Very nice R107 generation SLC with the rear seat, so you've got a bit extra room, and it's a proper four-seater, this one. Next to that, we've got a very nice Morris Mini Traveller, and a couple of Michelotti design cars, the 2000, and of course this lovely, I think magenta coloured Stag. Now, this is a stunning Cortina 1600 here with the Harris engine upgrade to 105 brake horsepower. It's a 71, so not too far behind the launch of the Coke bottle Cortinas. It's in beautiful, beautiful condition. This colour's unusual, and it's got the Britax sunroof fitted and the wood interior, but seldom have I seen one that's as good a condition as this one. Whoops, either there's a problem with the hydrogas on that one, or it's on air suspension. I suspect the latter. A Vauxhall Cresta, a Daimler, I guess that's the 250. Of course, a good old Morris Minor next to it, which is lovely. Another Series 2, yeah, it's a Series 2 Jaguar this time. I've seen one already, but this is a Morris Minor pickup. Very nice right-hand drive 121 Amazon, and unusually is this Fiat X19. Looks like a relatively early car. I guess it'd be a 77, 78. Lovely orange colour, isn't it? Here's a very saintly looking Volvo P1800. It's an S, originally produced in the UK by Jensen on behalf of Volvo. When production moved to Sweden, it was actually badged and the S to recognise this. Busy day here today. Lovely shadow, another one, this one gold shadow. These are starting to look more appealing. Now, those of you regular viewers of the channel will know my unhealthy obsession with Granadas. This is a 3-litre V6 Mark 14 Granada. It's an M-plated car, 74. I'm not sure if it's a UK car, just looking at the colour combination. It may be a South African import. Very interesting looking Triumph Dolomite. Another Volvo 121 Amazon, so-called Amazon. And next to it we've got a lovely 16 valve Triumph Dolomite Sprint. And if you like Ford Escorts, this is a Mark II. I wish I'd kept mine. Mine was a similar colour, sadly not a similar condition, and I never tire of seeing these Mark I Mexicos. What a lovely car that one is. An M, so it's sort of late-ish. Beetle and a Humber Pullman. That's a big old unit, that one is, isn't it, even by today's standards. Next to it we've got a Cadillac, and we've got, I think this is a Jaguar. I think it's the, oh, it's going to catch me out, this one. I think it's a successor to the S-Type. Another lovely Rolls Royce, beautiful colour combination on that one, and another Jensen. This is a 66, and of course a Mark II Jaguar. At least I think it's a Mark II looking at the bumper bars. A lovely September 58 Austin 835 packing 948cc. Lovely car. A glorious looking Mini Cooper. Early car with those small wheels, ventilated steel wheels. Capri Mark I 1600 GT. The G plated in absolutely superb order. Another Stag, and then we've got a Fiat 500B or Topolino. This is a 1948 model, and one of just a handful of cars, or even less, that's in the UK. Obviously we've got the Corvette here as well. Now this is a Volvo 245 DL. I know that exactly because we also had an X-plated one at home, but a saloon, the 244 DL. Before they were badged, the later cars were badged 240. Unusual to see one, certainly in that colour. Then we move next door and we see a couple of Elans, a non-sprint and a sprint, and then an Escort Mexico as well. If you like brown, you've come to the right place, and where better to start with than this later Mini Clubman Traveller. It's a later car when they lost the fake wood on the side. Next to it we've got a Rolls Royce Silver Spirit, Ford Mustang. What a different collection of vehicles there are here today. A series Land Rover, and very interesting car here, an Astra Gt. We all remember them, but when did you see one last? Now this in full Saint spec. I'm immediately drawn to this white, early-ish, well I say early, it's an 80 and the cars came out in 75, so early-ish. Jaguar XKS is just in the spec that was used in the Saint for the relaunch Return of the Saint, driven by Simon Ogilvy. Anybody who'd remember him? What a lovely looking car that one is. I'm drawn to that one. I'll have to stop filming or it'll be too long. Now continuing the eclectic collection of vehicles, we've got a Ford Pop, late 50s Ford Pop, I guess, pre-registrations, a later Ford F-150 pickup, a Corvette, let's have a look, Chevrolet Corvette, a lovely Chevrolet Corvette actually, that's beautiful, isn't it? Little Land Rover, perfect for this weather, isn't it? A Cobra, must be a Cobra replica I guess. A Pagoda Mercedes SL, and a Japanese import, is that a Daihatsu Materia? I can't remember. There we've got a Rover P6B, the B standing for Buick. They brought the small block engine from Buick in the US, and they used it for many years in a variety of different models. A very nice late mini pickup from, I guess, 80, looking at the registration. We've then got a Mini 1275 GT in red, Cobra replica again, and then we've got another 1275 GT. Now these were originally fitted with Dunlop De Novo run flat tyres, a different design to this one, but unfortunately due to the lack of availability of Dunlop De Novos, it was pretty revolutionary technology at the time, but it means that sadly the tyres appear to be no longer available for these. So many of them have been converted over to these type of wheels or mini lights. Very nice Bentley. Wouldn't say that early, but it's an N plated, so probably an early, is that 964? Question myself on that one, but I do know that's a Rover P4 and it's a 110. A very nice colour combination, Ford Thunderbird. I think I've seen that one here before. And a late Alfa Romeo Spider, and next to it a Citroen Diane. Let's take a look at that Citroen Diane in a second. Let's let these guys get out of shot. Now we can see very unusual to see white Citroen Diane. Now this is a right-hand drive car, but it's a late car. It's an X plater, so that would be 82, I guess. Now, although this has got echoes of a Spitfire and maybe Gilban from the back, it's actually a Reliant Sabre 6, which used in-period engines from Ford, overhead valve engines. Unusual to see these, I think, built in relatively limited numbers in the 60s, but certainly a pretty car. Look at that unusual roof line there as well, how you've got that additional height with that sort of bubble in the roof. Jaguar 3.4 litre Mark II, but certainly an unusual colour. And we've then got a fixed head Series 2 F-Type. Then we've got a Series 2 E-Type. Austin of England badge is this lovely patinaed Austin. And a well used, looks like a C-Type replica, Jaguar replica or something like that. Maybe it's a real one, we don't know. Very nice to see the Jensen Interceptor. What a fan of these cars I am. Every one was handmade and none of the panels are interchangeable. I'm told that they're handmade and one side of the car can quite possibly be slightly different to the other side. Must make restoration interesting. And a Granada Series 1, a late car, 78, I believe it's a UK car, I've seen this one before, and in daily use, 3 litre. Just walking a bit further in the show, we've got Mustangs, we've got a Rolls-Royce Corniche. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Look at home in Maidstone or Miami. Beautiful. The Daimler. And this is a Maserati 3500 GT, launched in '57 to celebrate Fangio winning the World Championship. This is a '61 car, previously owned by an Italian count or prince, I think. A very unusual car, and certainly unusual to see one here, but nonetheless beautiful, isn't it? It's difficult to know where to look here. We've got a series of XKs. As always, plenty of the old Michelotti Stags in various flavours, beautiful nonetheless. And this is an Austin Healey, not the midget. Aston Martin V8, I guess this is the DBS. And then to bookend the MGBs, here's a later MGB GT. This is the later cars that were produced towards the end of MGB production. A few more cars still arriving. Another RV8, and not so much seen at shows, but it's a 968 Cabriolet. And then we've got a BMW E28. I think that's probably a 535. They're lovely cars. Sort of that upright windscreen and shark nose, really distinct. A Volkswagen Polo G40 rather. I believe this was supercharged. I may be wrong, but I think it had a supercharger. Beetle and a Mark IV Escort RS Turbo. Arguably becoming a classic now is the Mondeo. Now this was the facelifted so-called maybe Series 2 car with the unusual lights at the front. And we've got a Lotus Elan Plus 2, practicality and Lotus style all in one package. A more modern Porsche and another Morgan. And this is a lovely, lovely, lovely Lotus Elite. What a lovely car. We've got a few Ferraris here. Very nice Porsche 928. And under the wing of Concorde, we've got quite a collection of cars. Ferrari 360, a Jaguar Mark II, a couple of Fiat Roadsters, a Morgan, a 996 Porsche and a 928 Porsche. What a collection. Another RV8. A Triumph 2000, Pagoda Mercedes, VW T4 I think. An X300 that looks like it's an XJR, and this is the one I've come to have a look at, guys. This, I can't recall seeing a Punto for a long time, but I can rarely recall seeing a Punto Convertible. Wow, that is a rare car, isn't it? And it's for sale, yours for $2,995. If you're interested, give Richard a ring. What a lovely car. I do like that one. Operated from a 3 to 3.1 litre by Superspeed conversions. This is its 1973 Series 3 Cortina. Superspeed were one of the three organisations who were pretty much running Ford racing at the time, along with Alan Mann and I think one more. But an unusual car, and not to be mistaken with just a normal and pretty rare Ford Cortina Mark III. Very nice Jag. Alfa Junior. Yet more Morgans. They're really out in force today, aren't they? I'm certainly going to make my way towards that van at the end. Mark Chobham Car Spares. Rarely do you see an Escort van, and certainly this one's turned out and very tastefully modified. Well, congrats to the guys at Chobham Car Spares, because that looks really good. A very nice BMW 535 E28 pre-facelift car. I love the BMW racing stripes. That looks in good order as well. Looks in really good order. There's something about those cars that I certainly am quite attracted to those, I must admit. I think they're lovely looking cars, as indeed I am with this Carmen VW Beetle convertible. We've seen this Maserati Indy. There was one recently on the Late Break Show on Johnny Smith's channel, and built to celebrate success in the Indy Racing Series. I think this is also a Maserati, but a Camazin. Taking a risk of breathing in some fumes here. Let's have a listen to that. Don't forget my one. A Jaguar 420G. Another Porsche 928. Oh, hang on. There's a Mercedes W201 like mine here, and it's a taxi. Is that a fake taxi? I don't know. Moving quickly onwards. We've got a Morris Minor, an ADO 16, quite an early one by the look of this. This is a 64 Fiat 500, and a pre-facelift Rover P6. That's a beautiful colour, isn't it? I do like the pre-facelift cars as well. They look very good, don't they? Now, looking like it's MG based is this Lennon Le Mans, a special body car. It's kind of got a lot more room than you have with an MG midgeting period. And next to its closely related Austin Healey Frog-Eyed Sprite. Very nice Jensen CV8. So thanks for joining me at the Brooklands Summer Classic Gathering. I hope you've enjoyed some of the great cars we've seen today, like this Porsche 928 behind me. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thanks for watching.